Justin Jefferson officially not the first day of Vikings voluntary work. Pro Football Talk suggests that they either just pay him or trade him.
I had an idea today. Would you rather have traded significantly more to get Justin Jefferson than extend him to a contract than trade for Stefon Diggs? And I know a lot of Houston Texans fans out there, you would say, hell yes, because Justin Jefferson is arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. I'm curious what the asking price would be, though. I would think it would be 2 first-round picks.
At least, right?
Probably a little more on top of it as well. And that extension, you're going to have to make him the highest paid wide receiver in the NFL. I think the Texans actually would have had the cap space to make that happen.
But maybe very little else.
Correct. Would the trade that you've already made with the Vikings have helped you out in any way? Could that have been a part of the deal? That's something I'm curious about. He does seem to be available at this moment in time. I can see why he wouldn't immediately report to voluntary workouts where they don't even have a quarterback on the roster.
Yeah.
And this might be something that once it's minicamp, he might come. But he's the best receiver in the NFL, and he actually has leverage, more leverage than he had already in a situation where there's no quarterback. Guys like Justin Jefferson are hard to find, and the Vikings have been exceptionally lucky the last half decade, 2 decades. The last decade, drafting 1, Stefon Diggs in the 5th round, and then 2, Justin Jefferson.
I mean, look at their franchise track record. You went from what?
Randy Moss, Chris Carter. Yeah, they've had great wide receivers.
And then you go Moss to Diggs to Jefferson. It's crazy. Like what they've done. It's just, and honestly, you know what? If I was the Vikings, I'd trade him. I would trade him.
You would.
If you're not going to pay him, I would trade him, and this is the year to do it. Like, you've got Malik Neighbors from LSU at the top of the draft, Marvin Harrison Jr. Like, you've got top talent.
Man, you said Neighbors before you said Marvin Harrison Jr.?
A lot of people believe that.
Do you believe that?
I don't know.
Okay. I'm curious. I was like, the only receiver I know by heart in this year's draft.
Yeah.
Because I really don't study until like the week before. The only one I know is Marvin Harrison Jr., and I'm told that he is God.
And then you have, Rome Odunze too. Like, you have 3 wide receivers who are in the top 10. So if you were going to do it, this is probably the year to do it.
Man, they also
I don't know how the Chargers pull it off, but if you're adamant about not keeping Justin Jefferson or not paying him to the contract he's worth, how do you not call the Chargers and say, hey, we'll give you, we'll do Justin Jefferson for the 5th overall pick in the draft, and then the Vikings can just go back to having a cheap wide receiver that they're eventually not going to pay. It's better than just franchising him, eventually letting him walk.
I like that we just have the Vikings as the Tampa Bay Rays when it comes to wide receivers.
What they
had
do.
a lot. They had Adam Thielen.
Sidney Rice, yeah.
Oh, Sidney Rice. What a pull, Sean.
Jake Reed was a good player back in the day.
Yeah.
I'll take your word for it.
I don't remember Jake Reed.
Might be before our time.
Yeah, some NFC Central fan you are.
I don't even remember. Honestly, I forgot that they used to have it the Central. I know it wasn't that long.
Because it changed in 2002.
Yeah, so I guess that's really when I started getting back into the NFL. What's the first Super Bowl you remember?
30.
Which was?
The Cowboys beat the Steelers. Larry Brown MVP. I didn't get to watch the whole game. I only got to watch the first quarter.
The first Super Bowl that I really remember was Rams-Titans. Vividly remember.
I remember that.
Patriots-Panthers. The one in Houston.
Yeah, sorry we're not olds, Paul.
I don't remember the first Patriots.
35 going on 40.
Yeah, that is legitimately it. I had a couple of dark moments Friday night after a few drinks. I'm like, damn, I am close to 40 now. I did not think 35 would. 35 did not hit me when I turned 35, but
that Friday night when you were drinking a little bit
later, I was like, damn, I'm 35.
You're I'm
rounding
on my way.
up to 40.
I was like, I'm single. My sister's about to have kid number 2. Doctor.
Congratulations.
Very successful.
Hey, just remember, the dating pool is going to reopen for you soon, okay?
No, it should be open now.
It's the transfer portal?
Yeah.
You're going to get the spring portal opening up.
The divorces are on the way. It'll reopen for you a little bit soon.
The game will come back to
You'll be option number 2 in the long run, but maybe you'll provide more happiness.
I hope so.
A lot of women out there married their Drew Bledsoe. Maybe you can be their Tom Brady.
Do you know what's bad? I've had a couple of people seriously ask me this question, and look, I share. You know, I overshare. A couple of people over like the last couple of days have been like, "Are you happy, Paul?" And I'm like, "What does that mean? What am I giving off? That's what you're asking me right now?" Oh, you just don't seem happy. What? Wait, first off, you know me, so okay.
You know the answer is no.
Like generally, I'm irritated by something, but damn, are you okay?
Now, like, were they texting you or were they with you?
Both.
Okay. Now, see, the person that's with you, like
The person that was with me, I was like, "Are you serious, dude? Let me have some drinks."
But at least, like, they're like looking at
darn.
you, like they're looking at you, and they can be like, "You know what, Paul? Like, you just don't look great." The person who's texting you,
almost worse.
just like randomly being like, "Hey,
Yeah.
dude, are you okay?"
I was like, "Whoa,
Like, dude, like, whoa,
where did that come from?"
like, what did I do on my Twitter account that like made you feel like I need to be checked in on?
Yeah, I didn't have like an away message up that said like nothing matters. God.
Micah Parsons and CeeDee Lamb both also skipped first day of camp. I think both those guys will end up being there, but if there was one to be traded, it would probably be CeeDee Lamb, I would imagine. Or you can't trade Micah Parsons.
But at the same time, if they trade CeeDee Lamb, who's their number one guy?
That's true.
I mean, they
Whoever
are.
they draft with the first round pick that they get for CeeDee Lamb.
I guess, but I mean, they're in such a tricky spot, and all these guys want to get paid now, and the team hasn't done anything. And as soon as they pay one of these three guys, it's going to hurt their ability to do anything more. They're in a strange spot. They're still good. They're probably going to make the playoffs next year. They're probably going to win the NFC East, but I do not know what to make of them. And all these players, again, it's just voluntary workouts, not that big of a deal, but they're not showing up because they all want to get paid.
No, and
Yeah.
like it just speaks to the Cowboys are. I don't want to go like they're just totally screwed because really the issue is like they have too many good players that all want to get paid. That's not like a giant issue, but there is a little bit of like it just speaks to they just could have gotten these deals done earlier. Like why did they wait so long to get these deals done? And now they all are stacking up, and you're at a spot where you're waiting for the Justin Jefferson deal. Like, you need to get the CeeDee Lamb deal done before Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase signed. Like, sign some of these guys, please.
Yeah. I mean, that's. I hope the Texans are never in the exact position the Cowboys are in because I hope they pay their guys in a more reasonable time frame.
I trust Nick Caserio to navigate this more than Stephen Jones.
I honestly hope that they are not one of those teams that constantly feels the need to pay their guys. I mean,
Yeah, let certain guys walk.
yes,
But they're gonna have to pay. Like you're gonna have to pay some of these guys.
Some of them.
and so it's the you just can't have the apocalypse that the Colts or that the Cowboys are having, where it's like, okay, so you're gonna have to sign more than likely Stroud and Anderson to their deals the same summer. I guess maybe you could get one of them done early and then the other one done later, but really, you should just they're both so good after after their rookie year that you'd think that there are no doubt about an extension guy.
Yeah, you don't want to be in a position to where you've given the 5th-year contract, the pickup, the 5th year on Derek Stingley Jr., and you're staring down a barrel of it's time to extend Anderson, Stroud, and Stingley Jr. all at the same time.
And Tank's going to be around the same time. You have to make a decision on that.
Like, it's like they're going to have a lot of options at one time.
You're probably going to have Collins on a deal at that point.
they're going to let a few of those players walk or trade them. Get ready for it.
They will.
Yeah, no, but it's just like don't do what the Colts or don't do what the Cowboys are doing.
Yeah, just trying to be a little bit less disorganized than the Cowboys.
I listen. I think they will be less disorganized than the Cowboys. I get it. Ugh, Patriots, but I mean, Nick Caserio was there for a while. They got the quarterback. Now it's literally a matter of just make sure that you don't lock yourself into Josh Hader, Rafael Montero contracts.
And that's why the biggest difference is that I don't think we'll ever be at a point with the Texans where the Cowboys are, where the Cowboys are going to have to give Dak Prescott $60 million, and it's a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But they feel like they have to.
But they
do
feel
it.
like they have to.
Because that is really kind of the
That's
root
the
of
problem.
all of it is that you have a quarterback that you feel like, we don't want to have no quarterback, but we don't love this guy and letting his number one receiver walk. And he has to have a situation around him to be worth $60 million, but paying him $60 million makes it harder to have that situation around him.
Yeah.